Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about something, I guess you could say, on a personal note that has been associated with me and could be some astrological energy that we're currently dealing with. And on a couple things I wanted to talk about, I thought was very unusual, and some of this may be attributed to our Aquarius energy that we're currently experiencing. Saturn and Jupiter both transiting Aquarius at this time. And the first thing I'm going to talk about, it's interesting. I talked to you previously and I made a video. It was at one time it was about astrology and helping others, whether it might be mentoring or giving some insight into some person's chart or what have you. The thing is, somebody had recently, and I had been friends with her for a little bit on Facebook, had to me inexplicably blocked me after I had helped her out. Actually gave her, you could say, a little bit of mentoring. I gave her a little bit of insight into astrology chart reading and understanding of astrology, what have you. And I thought it was interesting. I had a few video chats with her. We had at least two video chats with her. There was one audio chat that lasted almost an hour, and then I don't know if it was right after I had done this for her that I was blocked, or it might have been a few days afterwards. She stated in some message that there was something, she was receiving a call from her boyfriend. So, and that was the last time I had heard from her. So, I mean, it's always possible there can be, a domineering, jealous boyfriend that might have had something to do with it. But the thing about it is, yeah, we have to remember is people, when we deal, if you're, an astrologer out there and you're helping somebody, whether you're mentoring them or giving insight into their own chart, answering some astrological questions, that there's, we have to remember when you're helping these people, you're doing it on social media. A lot of these people we've never met in person. We may just know, I guess you could say, superficially. We don't know how much appreciation we're really getting from them. We just do it at the time to help, just for the sake of helping somebody. So the thing is, we never know how somebody's going to respond to us, and when we do try to offer any kind of help or assistance that we may be giving selflessly. I mean, this is a very strong Aquarius period we're going through, and we may be inclined to express altruism and selflessness more than what we usually do. But we have to remember there's going to be some people out there that really are not going to be as appreciative of what you do for them as others. I saw this as very very shocking and surprising for somebody to do this to me after I had helped them and showed a lot of kindness toward this person. But the thing, and without even a goodbye, I mean, you're just kind of wondering, kind of dumbfounded state. Well, what was the reason behind this? When somebody does this, it's not. I mean, not only did the person, abruptly just block me, but what I feel is inexplicably. I understand the person she had her reasons, but it's something that I may never know about. But the thing is that not only you're blocking somebody abruptly, and you wonder, you might ask yourself, did you do something wrong to deserve this? I don't think I did anything wrong to this person, or I didn't do anything offensive to this individual. But we don't really know what reasons are, why people do things. But we just have to remember, when we're helping people out there, there's some people that will give certain levels of appreciation or even reciprocation, and others that won't. Now, this person did offer to help me in a fundraiser, but I refused. I figured that she may have been in a bad, but not a really bad monetary situation, but in a situation where maybe she was just barely making ends meet. I didn't feel that she was really very prosperous or affluent or what have you, and I really didn't want to take anything from her, so I just offered to help, and I didn't really expect anything back anyway. But you would think you could at least get the consideration of a goodbye or a reason as to why this something like this was done. Now, I understand it wasn't the first time I was blocked. It certainly won't be the last, and another thing I wanted to, and again, it's just basically the moral to the story is it's just the simple fact that we as people out there that are watching this video that are astrologers or people that are simply enamored with astrology, that are willing to help others out from time to time and give them insight into astrology, answer astrological questions that they can answer in order to help someone else out. But you're doing it in many instances because it's just for the sake of doing it and being able to help somebody and do something beneficial for that person. You may not always, again, going back to appreciation, you may not always get the appreciation that you wanted or any reciprocation, but you do it because you just want to help somebody. And the thing about it is, if somebody does something like this to you and they friend you and they just and the only time they contact you really is when they want something, and then if they do block you, you know what? It just shows you may have been better off without them, because that person might not have been your friend anyway. Maybe they were just using you to get some information out of. So, and something else bizarre happened with me lately. I think some of this can be tied in to this Aquarius energy that we're currently experiencing. Somebody had wrote me, and it sounded like it was something very it was like imperative for me to get back with her. She said something like in her message, Mr. Edwin, I got something very important to talk to you about that involves you. And when I looked at that message, it was like within the day, like later that night or something. And when I tried responding to it, the message didn't go through. Basically, I was blocked shortly after the message was sent. And say, I tried writing the person on a couple other social media sites, and there's been no response as of yet. I don't know if she's seen it or not, or if she simply just doesn't go on the websites that frequently. But the thing about it is that why are you going to write somebody and tell them there's something so urgent that needs to be conveyed to you and it needs to be talked about with you, and then practically inexplicably block them afterwards? See, and also that message is very ambiguous. I don't know whether it was something going on concerning me that could be to my detriment, or was there something as far as an opportunity that she was going to give me that would be positive for me? Did she want to maybe do a collaboration video? As an example, a collaboration astrological video as an example, or what did she want to do a write-up about? I mean, it could have actually been something very positive, but if you get second thoughts or if you got cold feet about something, at least write the person and give them the decency of a reason why you changed your mind, and not just block the person and have that person wondering. See, when people do these things, they don't think about what happens to that person in question and what's going through their mind. Maybe they're just apathetic and don't care. Sometimes people just will block, if they change their mind about something, maybe after they write something to them, they maybe it just was easier to block them in contrast to actually confronting the person about why it is maybe they change their mind. And sometimes people do things like that. I say they're facilitating things. Basically, they're doing it. They'll block the person as opposed to give them any kind of communication, because it's quick, it's easy, and they don't have to. Maybe they don't have to get into any long dissertation as to why they had a change of heart regarding what it was they wrote the person about to begin with. So if that makes sense. So I think I kind of understand that in a way, but when you have ambiguity, it leaves uncertainty in a person. It makes a person wonder, well, what was the reason behind such and such, what was so critical, especially if it was something that was going on that was going to be to my detriment that she could have actually divulged to me. It leaves me in a state where I'm, where I'm very confused, and it leaves me wondering, what is actually going on. It leaves me a little bit concerned as to whether it could have been something bad or not. But and again, this is just something where we don't always understand people's behavior, why people do things like this. But it's not really shocking that this is happening with these transits currently happening in Aquarius. And I believe in February of 2021, there's going to be like 6 planets that are going to be transiting Aquarius. Some places write 7. But I don't know if there's going to be 7. I don't think there's 7 planets transiting Aquarius in February 2021. I think it's 6, and it might be an asteroid. But you can confirm that on the internet. You can look that up. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.